Pigman 202 versus DVD's Papa Palpatine. There's two reasons I'm casting this. One, I love Papa Palpatine. I do. He occasionally leaves the game to go do real life stuff. Whenever he comes back, I'm always excited because I love watching him play. And two, it's a different take on Tomb Kings versus Kislev. We have some Wing Lancers. We have Armored Kossars with great weapons and stuff like that. If you've been watching the live streams, we've had a couple tournaments where this is a quite frequented matchup. And it makes sense. Tomb Kings are having a bit of a resurgence for no real reason. Nothing changed about them or anything. They're a popular faction and people like them, so it feels like they just kind of re-enter people's zeitgeist and they start playing them again. And they're decent versus Kislev, with a lot of armor-piercing options, both at range with Ushabti Great Bows and Sepulchral Stalkers, or in melee with Ushabti Regulars. And then, of course, we have Death Magic from Arkan. That can be very helpful against these guys. Kislev being a strong faction, it's just nice if you can find a counter of theirs. What we have been seeing a lot in the live streams is Little Grom. Little Grom performs very well in this matchup for Kislev, if he's properly screened for from the Ushabti Great Bows. You can't just let him wander into their range. But Papa Palpatine not taking that, so that was interesting enough to cast. But this is a very common matchup these days. So for Pigman, we have 4 Ushabti Great Bows, none of which are the Chosen of the Gods. We have the Eyes of the Desert Sepulchral Stalker Regiment of Renown, 3 regular Ushabti in melee, and then some Skeleton Spearmen and Warriors on the front line, a couple Skeleton Horsemen, Ark in the Black with Spirit Leech and Fate of Yuna. For Kislev, we have 2 Winged Lancers, a little bit of heavy cav presence. We have a bunch of things in the woods, the Watchman and the Knight Armored Kossar Regiment of Renown, the dual weapons variant, and then a bunch of Armored Kossars with great weapons, some regular Kossars with spears for a bit of archer support. 1 Warbear Rider, not the Oath Brothers of Torch, just a Warbear, and Mother Ostankia with Enfeebling Foe and Flock of Doom for her spells, Guliaz, her little heal. Going to start by shooting at the Ushabti Great Bows, but they are swift and dodge all that nonsense. Ushabtis will try and punish Mama O. She does have 10% ward save and 35% missile resistance, so good luck. Even if you hit her tiny, tiny model, you're not going to do a ton of damage. And Papa Palpatine juking. His micro has always been good. Always, always. Plays a lot of Beastmen with Kazric One Eye. And for now, Kislev is just trying to engage. The Tomb Kings are going to try and kite for as long as they can, but their skeleton frontline is so slow that you can only kite for so long before you're going to have to start making sacrifices. And it looks like that time has come, because now the Skeleton Spearmen stop running away. They're worried about taking pistol shots in the back, so they at least want their silver shields to be facing the correct direction. And they've accepted that maybe some 320 gold skeletons might die. Though for the Tomb Kings, if they have a weakness, it is their chaff front line. Some people really think these guys are strong, but I think for 300 gold, they're necessary, but they're a weakness for your roster. They're really bad. It's not like you can just not have a front line, though. You need something, but yeah. Sacrificing Skeleton Spearmen ain't exactly easy. They're a lot of gold. So far, the kite's going great for the Tomb Kings, though. They've already almost taken out an entire Armored Kossar. They're starting to work on the Watchman and the Knight. I'm sure they're a little less enthused about what they're shooting at, though. With single shot Ushabti, you want to be shooting at Mother Ostankia if you can hit her, Boris Ursus, or whoever the enemy lord is. You want to be shooting at Warbear Riders. You want to be shooting at Bear Sleds. You don't really want to fire at infantry. The Chosen of the Gods would be great at shooting at infantry, but those are the only ones not being brought here. Things in the woods getting pelted by some of those arrows, but now Sepulchral Stalkers are wandering a bit too close to the sun, as some archers and some pistols will be counter-firing on them, getting a bit of poke damage, but those guys will slink away with 80 armor and 25% missile resistance. They're not too perturbed. Things in the woods, Mother Ostankia trying to start the fight now, as Armored Kossars continue to march forward. Now they're using their pistols to poke down the Ushabti. Winged Lancers have gotten a flank set up, and that'll be real bad for the Tomb Kings. Even though Ushabti Great Bows have a bit of armor piercing in melee, and they're armored themselves, they still generally just don't have the stat line to withstand a cav charge from behind, even if the cav are not armor piercing. Things in the woods, pulling back for now, taking too much damage fighting those spears. The Kossars' spears will get charged by the Ushabti Great Bows, but they'll fight back decently for being a hybrid unit. First, Guliaz is out. It is going to try and heal some things in the woods and some infantry, as other things in the woods and infantry continue to fight back. But here is the big attempt from Kislev. Fate of Buna going to delete some Winged Lancers that are currently massacring Skeleton Horsemen, but the other Winged Lancers slipped in from the trees and do get onto those Ushabti Great Bows, and they'll start doing good damage to those guys. It will take some time. Warbur Riders moving up now. They've been kept safe before because, I mean, there's 4 Ushabti Great Bows that want their head. They are just forced to charge in now. They're going to take a bit of an oppressive advance, taking a lot of damage as they go. Mother Ostank is going to try and help her Wing Lancers in the back line. Not getting a ton of damage on the Ushabti Great Bows. The Wing Lancers are mostly clumping up, which is really hurting them versus these snakes. So not spreading out and getting all of their models into contact, and clumping up even harder for those projectiles coming in. Where did the Warbear Riders end up? They snuck through the front line, and they're on the back line. They will do much better than these Wing Lancers. And you can see now the Wing Lancers doing the damage I was expecting. For a bit there, I was getting nervous. I'm like, did I just lie to everybody? Because they weren't doing shit to the Ushabti. But now they're much more saturated in, so more of their models are in contact, and they eat those Ushabti up. So good job, them. Ushabti are gone. Warbear Riders deleting an Eyes of the Desert, and Things in the Woods getting back here too with their really high arm piercing values. Even though they have bonus versus infantry, it's still just going to be good damage on these Ushabti. So things are getting a little spooky here for the Tomb Kings as they try and peel for the back line. Arkin is doing a better job on this side. Wing Lancers are about to rout. Things in the Woods about to rout. We do have some Armored Cossars trying to come in, but this northern side is a bit of a disaster for the Tomb Kings, losing a whole lot of weapons teams. The Warbear Riders taking a ton of damage themselves. They are going to rout off any second here, but I think the Sparkle Stalkers have just taken so much damage that they'll crumble away on their own regardless. It looks like these Spearmen are also sacrificed. So the northern side going to Kislev. Ha! Kislev's winning the northern fight because they're from the north. Ha! Ha! Geography jokes. Geography jokes. Anyway, the free Ushabti summon from the Tomb Kings is out. Arkin finally routed off the Things in the Woods, though one of his Great Bows is at half HP. Actually, a little below half HP for its effort. He has 1 healthy Ushabti left. Watchmen in the Night get a fight over here with some Skeleton Spears. They'll cleave through those guys relatively quickly, but the Ushabti will be a bit of a problem for them. Mother Ostankia getting Spirit Leeched again. More and more Tomb Kings are crumbling away up here. And Arkin might have overextended. Mama O's taken some nerfs as a melee combatant. Good. Good. She should not be a great melee combatant, but she's still better than Arkin. Arkin's not a good melee combatant by any degree. Instead, she's just going to opt out. She realized she wasn't getting anything done here, so fires a parting shot that honestly did more damage to her Things in the Woods than the Ushabti Great Bows, and tries to heal up her Warbear Riders, tries to heal up her Things in the Woods, but a rear charge from the melee Ushabti might just be the death of them. Though, a healthy Wing Lancer has caught the previously healthy Ushabti Great Bow, and is really pressuring it down, as Kislev's getting out a lot of good damage. Balance of power is actually tipping in the Tomb King's favor, which maybe? I don't know. This feels like a bad time to be a Tomb King, but maybe I'm just on drugs. Because that's a fake, isn't it? Yeah, that's a fake Ushabti. And then all of your important stuff is crumbling right now. It's not going to stop. Like, these skeletons, this Ushabti, that Ushabti Great Bow, they're dead. They're doomed. They're literally never coming back. Even if they get away, they're not going to rally. The fake Ushabti is gone. Now the bounce power gets a little bit better. But this other one is still crumbling as Wing Lancers pursue them to the death. And I wouldn't be surprised if these Armored Cossars just turn into pistol mode and fire backwards to guarantee that those guys die. Mother Ostankia is going to get charged by Arkin, takes a little damage, but she does give herself... No, that was a Flockadine. That wasn't a heal at all. Got it. Armored Cossars, Great Ones firing downhill into these Ushabti. The other Armored Cossars are trying to go into melee with them. Mother Ostankia is still getting rear charged by Arkin, but here comes some 6 Warbear Riders. And they're ready to party with everything that's down here. Watchmen in the Night are getting finished off in the distance, but we'll see if those melee Ushabti can even join in time. That Skeleton Warrior is a summon. It's not real. Those Ushabti are fading away. Both Ushabti are fading away, and they're too low to rally. Arkin gets another Spirit Leech onto Mama O, but he's stuck fighting Warbear Riders and armor-piercing Armored Cossars. It looks like neither of them have their Fire Blood passive, though. Mother Ostankia is trying to fire uphill into Skeleton Warriors. That Skeleton Warrior summon is going to fade away in 2 seconds. We'll see what that does to the balance of power as a full health infantry unit that was fake goes bye-bye. Things in the Woods going to charge against Ushabti as they have some skeletons who are crumbling, skeleton warriors who are crumbling up there. Kislev is rallying a lot of units, and Mother Ostankia is trying to fire uphill, but she probably needs to get a little further away from Arkin. There goes a good shot, and it does a lot of damage, deleting that skeleton warrior from the face of the earth. Enfeebling foe onto Arkin, trying to lower his stats and make it easier for the Warbear Riders to pick him off. He is trying to run away from them. Charge attacks keeping them in the game. Kislev has a lot of ammo on these wounded pistols, and then these archers and other pistols that are rejoining the fight. They probably all want to shoot at the Ushabti that are dueling it out here. Some very haggard Things in the Woods trying to join the fight. Once again, those Skeleton Spearmen are sometimes crumbling, sometimes not. And a Spirit Leech from Arkin the Black does finish off the Warbear Riders. It looks like they're going to run straight off the map. Their leadership's just too low. They get back to 0 and then -5. Yeah, they're going to go off the map. Mother Ostankia, another Ghoulia is healing up her lads as they fire uphill into Arkin. Meanwhile, Things in the Woods all routing away. These Armored Cossars Great Weapons continuing to battle it out, and crumbling is turning into the Tomb King's worst enemy as they continue to slowly take damage on their last chaff piece. Now, Arkin can summon another chaff piece at a moment's notice. Kislev does have a lot of units in the distance that are not looking like they're going to rally. Another Spirit Leech onto Mother Ostankia. Armored Kossars moving up to try and use their pistols. There goes the last Skeleton Spearman, but these Armored Kossars... the regular Kossars with their spears get charged by the Ushabti, and their charge defense does not help them, because I think someone told me, and I'm not sure if it's true, but it seems true, if you're firing, you don't get your charge defense or charge reflection anymore. They take too much damage. The Kossars' spears are going to get routing unless they have Fire Blood. They do not, and there they go. Tomb King's up on the balance of power once again. Can a very healthy Armored Kossar with Great Weapons hold? Can this other one use any of its ammo? Can Mother Ostankia live through all the Spirit Leeches that have been plaguing her? She only has... Well, now she has 0. She has 0 ammunition left as she fires into the Ushabti and misses every bullet because, I mean, it's more of a infantry clear than it really is a Ushabti clear. And she's probably just hoping for that last cast of Ghulias to heal her up even a little bit. Pistol fire into the Ushabtis. They're down to 1,300 HP, and they're probably going to die quite quickly to these Armored Kossars. There's an Arkin the Black summon, tipping the balance power in the favor of the Tomb Kings, though the Ushabti are getting massacred, enfeebling foe into Arkin. 1626 for his melee stats. Mother Ostankia is trying to fight it out with him, but she's down to 1,000 HP. A quick Flock of Doom to harass these Ushabti a little bit more. But there's a Spirit Leech that will probably end her life, as Arkin, despite his very low melee stats, still gets good hits onto Mama O. Her Fire Blood passive is popped, and the Ushabti gonna hold on as Army Losses takes a hold of Kislev. It looks like the Ushabti will die and the summon's fake, so it really will just be Arkin standing, but that's all you need. In a very close game, Arkin with 2,600 value. Ushabti Great Bows, mixed overall, a little disappointing. Ushabti regulars did fine. Skeleton Horsemen and Chaff all died for the great cause. For Palpatine, Mama O, 1,300 value. Now it's some of her crazy games that she puts on her back. Because a lot of her damage was onto random chaff, because she's an infantry killer, and the Tomb Kings didn't bring any infantry worth killing. Meanwhile, Wing Lancers, between the two of them, paid for themselves. Armored Kossars, Grey Opens did fine. The Warbear Riders did fine. Things in the Woods did fine. Kossars Spears did okay. GG.
Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.